Hello, guys. Happy Mindset Monday. Happy November. Happy post Halloween with my beautiful pumpkin. I hope you guys had a wonderful wrap up to October. There's only 2 months left of 2024. It's crazy to believe how we're wrapping up the year in only 2 months, and it's just so crazy. 2 months left of 2024. This is honestly like a really good reflection time for you to think about how things were for you this year. Did you reach your goals? Do you need to hone in a little bit more on things to reach your goals? What was the best part of your year? What was the biggest struggle for you for your year? And what do you want to feel as we finish the year? Do you want to step things up? Do you want to take a step back? Do you want to reprioritize? Do you want to make change? And what is that all going to look like? November is always a really good time to just do some reflection and really just think about that kind of stuff. Okay, so Mindset Monday today, we are talking about meeting yourself where you are at. Falling into the comparison trap, comparing yourself to other people, comparing yourself to even past versions of yourself, it doesn't do any good for anybody. And sometimes it can be really hard to not compare yourself to anybody or to your past self, maybe of what you look like, how you felt, what your habits were like, how consistent you are, how committed you were. And I want you to also just remember, anytime you feel like you're falling into that comparison trap, I just want you to reflect and pause and just think about, how is your life now different than your previous life that you're comparing yourself? Or how is your life different than the people who you are comparing yourself to? How is your values different? How's your lifestyle different? How is the time that you spend in your day doing things different than theirs? And before you go ahead and judge yourself and feel like you should be doing more and you need to be doing more, you need to step it up in any way or anything like that, I want you to just pause and take into consideration that most people's lives are very different. And most people's values are very different. And comparing yourself to those other people might leave you feeling guilty or feeling really shitty about yourself. And, you know, a lot of people do start to make changes in their lifestyle and in their habits because it is out of guilt, or it is out of shame, or it is out of anger or fear. Like, all of these negative kind of emotions are usually what drive people to change. Now, there's something kind of positive in there, because we do, as human beings, it's crappy, but we do need to experience a certain level of uncomfortableness in order for us to actually make change that we're going to stick or commit to, whether that is putting on a pair of jeans and looking in the mirror and feeling absolutely horrible, or maybe it's playing with your kids and being out of breath way too easily, or maybe you are, maybe the doctor told you that you're a pre-diabetic and you need to work on your nutrition and start exercising more. Like, whatever that uncomfortable moment that you have, that's usually where people start. But you need to move past that and change that into a more positive kind of focus. Because if you are changing yourself based off of hate or guilt, that is the opposite of making positive changes in your life. So then you need to see the good in the light and see what you want versus what you don't like, okay? But, you know, everyone's lives are changing constantly. Busy seasons flow into even busier seasons. We have the ebb and the flow and the good times and the bad times. And, you know, our lives change so much with the seasons and change so much with just, you know, the different lifestyles that we have, that it's really impossible to stay consistent with a consistent lifestyle year round. Okay, so throw that expectation out the window, because nobody has the exact same consistent routine and consistent lifestyle year round. Things change. We have different priorities throughout the year. Like, it's totally normal to have just things ebb and flow and change. Okay, so changing your expectations in those moments is also really necessary, because if you feel like you should have the same expectations of when you work out, how long your workout should be, where you work out, what kind of program you're following, how you're doing with your nutrition, what your meal prep looks like, what your bedtime habits look like, how much sleep you get per night, how much water you drink throughout the day. Like, all of that literally changes based off of different phases of your life and different lifestyles. And for some people, some of those can stay really consistent, but, you know, the middle of winter typically looks a lot different than the middle of summer for people. Weekends look different than weekdays, and camping season looks different than Christmas holidays, and vacations look different than your regular Monday to Friday. And so expecting yourself to be consistent and expecting yourself to be the exact same, look the exact same, and behave the exact same day in and day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, it's just not realistic. And so it's really important for us to meet ourselves where we're at. Now, this is where you get to kind of turn into yourself a little bit more and bring some more awareness as to where are you right now in your life stage? What does your sleep look like? What do your priorities look like? What do your habits look like and your values? And how much time do you have to commit to these things? How much time can you prioritize to these things? How badly do you want it? What kind of goals are you chasing for? And it's different because having different things and all of those different ebbing and flowing priorities, all of that change throughout the year, it's actually really important because I wrote a note in here of something that I wanted to say about meeting yourself. Okay, yes. So you need to get really clear on what you need and what is working really well and what isn't. Can you still hit the targets but make adjustment? Because all of those things are going to change throughout the year. So what is important to you? And the meeting yourself where you're at, sometimes it can mean having a goal and really reaching and working towards that goal. And sometimes meeting yourself where you're at just means you're maintaining what you're doing right now. Maybe it doesn't mean that you need to train any harder or sleep anymore or meal prep anymore or, be more restrictive here or walk more. It doesn't mean you need to do more. Maybe your phase that you're in right now simply just means maintaining. Or sometimes it means taking a step back. I've had moments in my life this year, I took a month or two off of training because we were renovating our house and we were moving, and then my dog died, and I just took a lot of time off of training and prioritizing myself, and things just did not go super great. And so when you are in different phases, it's important to kind of recognize yourself and change your expectations for those, because your expectations cannot be the same year in, year out, day in, day out. Okay, so adjust those expectations and just sit with what is your priority right now and what your values are right now and what your goals are right now, and focus on that. If you can just simply focus on that without falling victim to whatever phase you're in right now, and without sitting in that and holding on to it and using that as a crutch or an excuse for yourself, it just takes a lot of getting really honest with yourself of where you're at, what priorities you have, and what your goals are right now. And when you have that clarity and that awareness, sometimes that can really just help you be okay, I'm focusing in on this. I'm focusing in on my training. I'm going to get back into a training routine and a program, and I'm going to follow it. Or, I need to get back into my meal prep because it saved me so much time and so much mental energy and stress later on down the road. Or maybe you're like me and my husband's gone for the next week and gone hunting, so I'm solo parenting for the next week. And maybe I'm okay, I need to have my meal set. I need to have my workouts created for me, and I need to just get into a routine, because without that, my life is chaos, and that does not work very well for me. And so, you just have to think about where you're at, and sometimes that changes on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it's week to week, sometimes it's month to month. So, there's also different things that you can focus on or try as your phases of life change. Maybe that means asking for help from other people, maybe signing up for a meal delivery service, maybe waking up before the kids to do your workout, maybe hiring a coach for piano lessons or somebody to help you out, or maybe leaning into your partner a bit more. And it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to change things and make things different. It doesn't make you any less, and it doesn't mean that you are not working just as hard, because some days when you only feel 40%, giving 40%, that is actually your 100%. You got to give what you have to give, and it doesn't mean you're going to be 100% every single day or every single week, but you just give as much as you can give each day, and that is how you are able to show up just consistently. Consistently doesn't mean 100% every single day, every single week, every single month. 100% means meeting yourself where you're at each day and just being honest with yourself, of calling yourself out on your BS. And I'm just being lazy. I'm just eating Halloween candy because it's sitting beside me and I'm not really being disciplined. Or it's, I don't have any strict goals that I'm working towards right now. I like the flexibility of eating candy, and so I'm going to eat this bucket of candy. This is Finley's, by the way. It's just got cheesies and juice boxes in it. And just kind of getting honest with yourself about that. Okay? So that is our quote. That's our theme this week. Our quote this week is, meet yourself where you're at, not where you think you ought to be. Okay, so that's our topic. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!